Hello and welcome back to chapter 4, lesson 2. So you've come all the way through the entire course. You've reached the end. You've reached the end of the retreat, the course. And I wish I could see your journal. I wish I could see your journal. And you must send me pictures to your journal. I can imagine how rich your journal is, how many insights you have gained, thoughts that you've put in. I want to recommend that you really take the time to decorate your journal. Put in some color, draw in the margins, draw in any little spaces, put in some color, buy a little box of color pencils and decorate it. In chapter 4, lesson 2, we want to place our trust in God's plan for our lives. I want to repeat that. In chapter 4, lesson 2, we want to place our trust in God's plan for our lives. Every person who comes into this world comes in with a plan from God for their lives. Amazing. Every person has a plan, that God has a plan for everyone. And you know what happened? I want to tell you, God's plan is greater than any plan you can conceive. God's plan for your life is greater than any plan you can conceive in your life. So I really, really want to recommend that you follow God's plan. So in chapter 4, lesson 2, it is all about trying to find what is God's plan for my life and trusting in God's plan for my life. Now, each person, we have ego, we have a tendency, we would like to desire to have a plan for our own lives. Life transitions allow us the space, the time for us to really examine, what does God want for me? What is God's plan for my life? Not what do I want, not what is my desires, not what are my worldly thoughts, what are my confused thoughts. No, what are God's thoughts for me? What are God's plan for my life? And I want to repeat that God's plan for your life exceeds any plan you can make for your own life. Exceeds any plan you can make for your own life. And God has given you the talents and the capabilities and the opportunities for you to be able to fulfill God's plan. And God's plan is demarcated with milestones, and you can do it. So chapter 4, lesson 2 is, first of all, accepting that God's plan for our lives are better than the world's plan for our life. That God's plan for our life is better than the plan I can make for my own life. And to find out and to follow what is God's plan for my life. To do this, again, in chapter 4, lesson 1, you have a lot of activities. And in chapter 3, you have a lot of activities. And it's already trapped in your journal. Things, insights, and beliefs, feelings that shows you and directs you to what is God's plan for your life. This leads us on to divine providence. Divine providence is that things don't just happen. Things are planned and things happen because it is part of the unfolding plan of God's life, God's plan for your life. If you have strayed far from God's plan, a life transition is an opportunity to have a rain check and to change your ways. To change your ways and to get back on track. To get back on God's plan for your life. As painful as it seems life transitions can be, as painful as life transitions can be, they are opportunities for you to get closer to God's plan for your life. For opportunities for you to get closer to God's plan for your life. And divine providence is acting. Divine providence is that circumstances conspire for you to achieve God's plan for your life. Now, you can refuse, but divine providence says that circumstances coordinate orchestrate, work together for you to fulfill God's plan for your life. If you only give it the opportunity through prayer and through courage and asking God for grace, all of which we have recommended ways and how you can do that. So trusting in divine providence, trusting that divine providence will lead you to God's plan for your life. So be willing to surrender to God's plan for your life. Now that's an act of surrender. It's like Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. Not my will, Lord, but thine be done. Not my will, but thine will be done in my life. And therefore surrendering, giving up your own will, your own plans, your own desires for your life, and giving into God's plan for your life. No, that's a powerful thing. So the third thing is surrendering to God's will. Surrendering and accepting that God's plan for your life is a better plan than you will have for your own life. And it will be more fulfilling. I'm telling you, it will be more fulfilling. It will be more joyful. It will lead to greater happiness, contentment, and achievement and productivity, all of it, if it is that you follow God's plan for your life. And again, just to remind you, that divine providence is working and orchestrating for you to fulfill God's plan for your life. Finally, join a prayer group. I am suggesting either a physical prayer group, but if not, try to get together with some people, even if it is on a Zoom call or a Teams call, but people who are exploring and trying to build a more spiritually based life. Get together and meet regularly. I would recommend once a week. And again, what you can do is go to my Substack newsletter, Deacon Hilary Bengochea, and you can use that as a basis to kickstart your prayer group. But who knows, when you start in that, you will find your own way. That group may go off in the next direction with the Bible or with Christian meditation. But you form that group and you commit yourself, or join a group or join a ministry, and you commit yourself that you will be praying with them on a weekly basis. At least once a week, you all will get together as a group and pray. And that prayer has to be a sharing prayer, so that you pray, whether it is a devotion, whether it is Christian meditation, whether it is Lectio Divina, whether it is Bible study, but then you reflect on your life. This is what is happening to me. This is how I see that things are going. This is what I'm understanding. This is how I am beginning to know myself better and to know where God is leading me better. We have come to the end of this retreat. We have come to the end of this course. There is one more session which is all about next steps. So if you go on to the next chapter, it will be the next steps, and I will have a video there in that next chapter for you to have a look at. Thanks for journeying through, and wow, I could just imagine your journal. I could just imagine your journal. If it is that you believe that at this point you've really not captured everything, go back into one of the earlier things and work it through, fulfill it. Make your journal a storybook of your life and where your life is going. Thank you for reaching this far. And again, there's one more chapter, which is our next steps. I'll have a video for you there. See you on the other side.